everyone, all the lovers of freedom. I bring good tidings from the Creator that was never created. My earnest prayer for you that you are well in all your ways. We are at it again. We are at it again, discolonizing the mind of our people. The reason why you must have to fight for your ancestors. We keep on letting you know day and out. But in the end of time, please, if you are watching this very broadcast, do not hesitate to share. I will take a vivid look at it again. Where we stopped yesterday, we are going to be continuing from there. It's a call for an uprising. It's something we must get to do. We have to do it in order to enable us to liberate ourselves. I'm going to be giving you a little historical background. The reason why you must have to stand to fight for what rightfully belongs to you. Even Jesus Christ, the way the story were written and what he related to, he also have an ancestors. Please, if you are watching, do not hesitate to share this very lovely broadcast this afternoon. From here, I commit all our freedom fighters into your able hand. I commit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, His Excellency, to God of his ancestors to continue to guide him and protect him. So that all this battle before him, he will be able to succeed. As many that want him to remain in the DSS dungeon so that they might be put to shame at the end of the day. Or they will be put to shame at the end of the day. Please, if you are watching, do not hesitate to share this very broadcast. It's not all about us here. It's all about you that is watching. We don't want to keep what we have known to ourselves. I want everybody to be blessed. Everything I've heard of my father, I must definitely bring it here. By the grace of God, God is going to be moving mightily today again. If you make yourself available, God Almighty will make you able. I was talking to one of my friends today in the capital city of Spain, Madrid. I said, this is the real time to preach the gospel. The message that God Almighty sent each and every one of us in the book of Mark 16 verse 15 say, go into all the world and preach the gospel. This is the time. What we have been preaching is the gospel. Gospel are those things that we preach that will change our society. Since 1960 something, we have been preaching this gospel. Terrorism we are facing, human rights we don't have. None of our life is going forward. Individualistically, there's a problem. Societal consciousness is not there. And I'm going to be letting you know some of the things you need to do, some of the prerequisites, or what and what you must have to do to make sure we have a better society. So please, if you are watching, do not hesitate to share this very broadcast among your friends. And one thing we must have to know, what the truth does. It first of all make you miserable before it makes you okay. And a lot of us today, we are full of excitement. I'm going to be telling you, even when Jesus Christ were called upon, they call on Jesus. He said, Jesus, that son of David. And if you go to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 50, he said David triumphed over Goliath. Am I communicating? If you go to the book of 1 Samuel 17 verse 50, he said David triumphed over the Goliath. Now, Jesus Christ came, the story we are tied to David. That's why if they are calling Jesus, they are calling him according to his ancestral name. To David, you have ancestral name. You don't have, then you want to make it. Then you want to triumph. Is it possible? Please invite your friend. If he doesn't invite your friend, I'll call the video here. I will keep it to myself. It's not easy. Don't easy way to nobody have created such a topic like this. The kind of topic God have used us to create. Nobody, even pastors today, they are my topic, they're copying. But I'm happy that you are doing that anyway. So if I preach it the way it's supposed, don't use to collect offering from people. Freely you have received, freely you shall give also to the people. At times, when your way please the Lord, it makes your enemy to be at peace with you, because God Almighty, Chukwu Okabiama, the God of Nnamdi Kanu, have seen that yes, I have a clean heart to liberate the people. Patriots are not made, they are born. Patriots are not made, they are born. What they don't need to do is to only discover. Please, I'm still sharing from here. We have not started though. We have not started. Today we can jump, we can do anything. You can see today, nature changed today. Let me show it to you, nature changed today. The sea is as rough as any other thing. The sea today is as rough as any other thing. That's why one thing that is constant in life is change. That is to say, by now, there should be changes on how they treat us in our ancestral land. Then after reading the topics to you, I'm going to be reading the heading. Then you will be surprised that, yes, what this man is saying is true. I must be able to convince you today. You must be convinced by the grace of God Almighty. There is a very huge reason why you must definitely support in this very struggle, because what you are doing right now, you are doing it down for your children, not for me. They were the same reluctantness. Most of our fathers, they fold their hands. They were exiled. Abraham Lincoln, in 1860 something, he fought for the black African American. I'm going to be letting you know today the reason why you must have to stand up, if at all speak the truth. You have to speak the truth. The host of heavens and the powers in heaven and on earth, there is breeze. There is power in the breeze. There is power in the sea. It is going to be combined together. This message I'm sending it, they are carrying it. They will bear me witness tomorrow that I told you about it, but you refuse to listen. Please share this very broadcast. I'm still laying a foundation we have not started. I'm laying a foundation, no, we have not started. Even at that, try and invite your friends. It is very, very important to invite your friends so that they will come and listen. Then most of you today, you are going to regret that so you have not been serving God. And they told you were serving God. You were always serving your pastor. You cannot serve God. You connect to God through your ancestors. You connect to God through your ancestors, because your ancestors is the mediator between you and God. That was why to take away the power from you, that was why they brought in Jesus, so that you can never have a close relationship with God. Come on. Holy Spirit of God, have your way. A time is going to be coming when I will no longer share. What I will just do is to jump into the broadcast. Then I begin to dissect it. By the grace of God, God will so make us to grow. A time will come like that. We'll have people working in our offices. As I'm just entering the line, people are sharing. Then all this sharing, they slow me at times. It just slow me, you know. God have your way. Please, if you are watching, this is very imperative that you share this very broadcast among your friends. Do not hesitate to share this very broadcast. I want to let you know today, area you have not been doing well. We'll be looking about area you not be doing well. You'll be surprised and marvel that there's a lot of things you have not really done for your fathers. I don't wear more than I got better with your nota. But I better where you were man not herself. You say people that kill your father and your mother. Is whom you are respecting. And yes, that's why our society remains where it is today. You are going to be seeing the proof. The proofs are everywhere. The proof as we speak is everywhere. Please, if you are watching, do not hesitate to share this very broadcast. I will do the little I can from here right now, then I'll end up the sharing. If it did not get to you, please, I'm very sorry. That's not my fault. If the sharing did not get to you, it is not my fault. The sharing did not get to you, it is not my fault. Please try as much as you can to also do your own from that end. So that as I introduce the very topic tonight, as I just introduced the topic for us, then we continue. Stand up and remove the slavery chain from the neck of your ancestors. Stand up and remove the slavery chain from the neck of your ancestors. I tell you today, your ancestors is still chained because most of them were exiled, most of them were treated, most of them were killed. The same way they are killing you today. He said when the head is sick, the body is sick. If you look at them today, do you know why they are still oppressing you? Because their own ancestors want to oppress your father. It's an heredity. Their own ancestors want to oppress your father. So it's going to be a continuation. And your father never created. Your father is not happy that the same thing that killed them is killing you. It is an error. If not very well, we were the same people that subjected your father. Do you think the creation of the world was like this? It was not like this. So everything was militarized. That's what you are saying. That's why this narrative must change. 90 sometimes, if it cannot change, I prefer to just vanish. The point is still looking at me. I mean what I'm saying. Let me finish introducing the topic before that things there. Your ancestors never told you to suffer what they also suffer. Your ancestors never told you. You came to come and meet it. Does not mean that your ancestors accepted it. They were forced into it. They were subjected unto slavery because there was no freedom of speech. But I told you today in 1861 or 1860 something, it was Abraham Lincoln who put an end to slavery. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of America, before he was assassinated, he put an end to it. When Abraham Lincoln saw the same way slaves were coming from Africa, particularly Benin Kingdom, he said, no, Nagima, they were bringing slaves to America through Britain, and Abraham Lincoln fought. I'm going to be telling you immediately what Abraham Lincoln did, some of the things Abraham Lincoln did. Abraham Lincoln was an American lawyer and a statesman who served as the 16th president of the United States from 1861 up to his assassination date in 1865. Lincoln's legacy is based on the momentous achievement. He successfully waged a political struggle and civil war that preserved the Union and ended slavery and created a possibility of a civil and social freedom for African Americans. What you are suffering today, it was Abraham Lincoln that said, no, black Africa must have the same right with America. So you are there, you did do something. Yes. Do it now. You know, I told you I will always win you. Someone paid the price for it. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated because he succeeded in fighting to make sure slavery is stopped. Are you going to talk about the Jim Crow law? Where any state or local law that enforce and legalize racial segregation. This law lasted for almost about 100 years, from the past Civil War era until 1968. Their main purpose was to legalize the marginalization of African Americans. That was their main purpose. That was what Jim Crow law did. It lasted for more than 100 years. Since 1861, Abraham Lincoln took office. In 1865, he was assassinated. After his assassination, Andrew Johnson took office. Then everything gets worse. That's why every good leader, they always go after them. If you also want the story of John F. Kennedy that was assassinated in 1961, John F. Kennedy wanted to come and do the same thing Abraham Lincoln did. What they did, they assassinated him. And Donald Trump came again, which is the trumpet, the lion of the tribe of Judah. They wanted to also assassinate him. But they did such. Because already, God have already made me to be alive, to change the negative narrative of yesterday. Maybe you yourself, you just came to come and go. I begin to see that the Bible says when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Now, what is purpose? It's not only about having children. There is a special purpose God created you for, to come and correct the negative narrative of yesterday. But today you are like the same people that make your father go through hell. You are going through the same hell. No, that it was not the will of your father. They were fall out of their will. It was never the will of your father for them to go through what they go through at Mozart Mountain. And right now you have also came after your Mary Kay and your stupid you are a cultist, you are useless. Then you doesn't bloody care to see why this thing like this. What happened to my father? But the same you tomorrow we say, why are you speaking? You are not speaking. Then you are not rebelling for your father. Look at Jesus. They tie him to David. Now, who was David? David was a mighty man in valor. He was a mighty man of valor. David ogbe Goliath. When Goliath got of the Philistines, he sought the father of David. Abraham to Agbeo. Then David stood up and said, if you can insult my father Abraham, I'm going to put hand into your heart. David began to say, no, I will defeat this man. That is why today I stood as a David under the authority of God Almighty and our waking ancestors to wage war against these people. This slavery must end. It must end. Nayami Omaen Wapaya angels made prayer for one. This war will end. If this slavery does not end, we've got to stop. So let's go further. Let's go further. Now your ancestors never told you to suffer also what they suffer. They never told you that come from your mind. They never told you that. They didn't tell you where you have to follow this thing. Most of the things they told you where it was at you to fear. My father never told me that I'm a slave. Am I a pure man in not taking a slave? You are a bastard. You should be a slave under me. Nonsense. Then your independence is not completed because your ancestor is still in chain. If you want it to, they say, why that they give us independence? You know why the independence is not playing? Because all African ancestors is still in chain. Your independence today is not completed because your ancestor is still in chain. You have to go and fight and lose your father because they tied him. Most of them, it was starvation that killed them. Most of them, they are broken. They use ancestral. They wait crocodile. And what they sold your father for, your father was not happy. So you sold me because of copper. Somebody they depended on. He sold them in an exchange just to make an artifact. But today you are comfortable with it. You are not seeing anything wrong. I came to come and tell you today you are over suffering today. Look at Oibo and which Oibo they suffer. At least Oibo he must get house. Except he use like this smoke. Oibo must get house. Most of you wait they can wait here correct. No, if you not reach me almost that's environment. That's how our life supposed to be. Why is it that upon the abroad today, a lot of things you take, most of you, your ancestors beg. Your ancestors do all manner of things to live or after to wear, and that's why you are doing society things you think is normal. You are not the replicant of your ancestors. Or when we be we are not talking about your father or no, your ancestor is far back. What happens to them? Have you been able to confirm it? We don't confirm anything. All we just do know, it does not mean any life that comes, we take it. Oh man, no man. Your independence is not completed because your ancestors is still in chain. Very, very, very interesting. God, I thank you for using me, for making me a vessel unto honor. Your country passport is valueless because of your value. Your country passport today is valueless because of your value. It shock you, it shock be not shock. If you look at the authenticity of Nigerian passport, the same way you see human being back for Europe, and I saw a bill. You see the pass computer, and I saw Italy open, and I saw Spain, and I saw everywhere open. Because you are the person I make your passport the day valueless. Because you are no value. You are no father, you are no mother. You just grow up and follow the same thing, the same narrative, the same negative narrative. You grow up now, you can't do anything. But we do say, now have you been able to confirm what happens to you? Why is your life like this today? Compare Africa with Europe. What happens? We have the natural resources. What happened? Because your ancestors is not within the cabinet, is not with them in any office. These same people that want to kill your ancestors are the how many kings have you ever seen that way poor? Let's be frank as you see. Say this king poor. How many kings have you ever seen that this king is living for his people in the whole Africa? Let's not target to where we are from. If they, but I see Europe here. One look at Queen of England. A Queen of England is only in charge of paying children in UK. Is the one? That one still show Kabi. Let's go for that. So your independence is not complete because your ancestor is still chained. Your country passport is valueless because of your value. We must fight to free our ancestors from slavery. At the same time, we are also fighting to free ourselves and our generation from slavery. Do not allow them to use you the same way they used and maltreated your ancestors. Better life is not made for them alone. Better life is not made for them alone. You have a huge role to play in making your society a better one. The same thing the ancestors did to your ancestors is what they are also doing to you as a date. The same thing their ancestors do to your own ancestors, the same thing they are doing to you today is hereditary. They put down a stamp and say, thou shall not. The same way your father told you, your father taught you one or two things that is helping most of us today, or women or the same way the ancestors told them, these people subject them to suffering. On no account will you ever allow them to go forward. If it is a lie, the river will bear me witness. Now they oppress your ancestors. That is why you are also oppressed. They humiliated your ancestors. That is why you are also humiliated. They collected or grabbed land from your ancestors. That is why they are doing the same to you. They sacrificed your ancestors. That is why you are also sacrificed. That's just it. Now, when Abraham Lincoln saw he came into office in 1961, and before this very time, Abraham Lincoln went to the school of law when he found out that the only way I can be able to fight this slavery is for me to go to the school of law. After he graduated, he became statesman in America and contested an election and he won. What he could do was to put an end to slavery. Why must we be selling these blacks? What have they done? They decided that they deserve equal rights. Because the ancestors of Abraham Lincoln never told Abraham Lincoln that he should suppress anybody. Why is these people, why did the ancestors tell them to suppress us? If they are not told, why are they not following? At least we are in a democratic world. We are in a civilized world whereby oppression can no longer be tolerated. Let even assume, for example, why are they still doing the same thing they did to our father? That is to say, na follow come. That is to say, na follow come. Be that na follow come, do anyhow, go see anyhow. Abraham Lincoln's legacy was based on the momentous achievement, successfully waged a political struggle and a civil war that preserved the Union and ended the slavery and created a possibility of civil and social freedom for African America. He fought for the freedom of Abraham Lincoln in 1861. He fought for the freedom you are enjoying today in America. But our animals, they entered abroad. They want to build us and sponsor on their children. You are going to school, your father is not with you. Your father will be killed. He was expecting, if I stay with this son, all you know about is to buy car for your father. The reason why your father didn't succeed, because what happened to your father is about happening to you. What said they do when man have it up? Because they say a lot of people will change it to Christianity, then their generational curse. It is your ancestors they change. Or am I ancestor? They change your ancestors. Look, right from the one. Oibo, they got their gene long time ago. That is oppression. If President of Spain right now, Pedro Sanchez, do bad, the way they will take Polo and enter Parliament. Now King of Spain come back. King of Spain, Juan Carlos. Now he come back. He was in exile for almost 2 years. He and his son were not even playing. Now he managed to come back now. He come back now. His son might have settled some of the money his father collected. Really, I'm away king, you know. But our uncle. Now let's continue with the message. Now you have had everything. Jesus Christ came to this earth. Now if we are tied to a name, that's the only time they saw him. Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Now, who was David? Ask me today, who's your ancestors? You don't have any ancestors. You don't have anyone. Then you are now using the one of Jesus. Now, Jesus Christ figured out his ancestors. Now, when Goliath got in the book of 1 Samuel 17, verse 15, he insulted the God of David. That is to say, he threw my deep generation of David. Both Abraham, no matter Bonaro, or who is Abraham, and God Almighty have already made covenant with Abraham. That's why we say God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, if all these people have an ancestors, why you don't have it? Now, they created the very Jesus from a different perspective and give it to you. That this one right now, just go on your knees and commit it to God. Everything is okay. Do you think our God, his hand is short, he cannot deliver us? Or our ear is deaf that cannot hear us? He said, but your iniquity has separated me from you. What's your iniquity today? Sin upon sin. You have not been able to recognize that you have an ancestor that was murdered, that was maltreated, that you are supposed to come to this life and watch walking your forefathers and begin to repent for it and say, no, what you did to my father was bad. I will not allow you. You are the same person that is allowing it to fly. I have seen some fake pastors still having the same mind unbeliever are having. Believe on Hegel. Where did that come from? It was a narrative. That was how they kill our fathers. Our father were aside. Now, when Jim Crow law, Abraham Lincoln, he said, no, we cannot keep on doing it to this way. Then he fought and end slavery. No. Don't be using them like that. If you are to use them, make sure you pay them. Do you know your fathers and your mother were working in Europe and America? That's slavery. Not giving you what you deserve. They might so mind the meaning of slavery. That's why people today, some of them have said that they are slavery. Then you want Obaseki to tie road for you, and God will punish your head. Then you are blaming Obaseki to tie road for slave. You know the meaning of slave? Okay, two bata. No fear. You will not be paid. When you are supposed to eat, they will never give you food because you are a slave. Abraham Lincoln said, no, pay these people for what they do. Okay, the day job is, let's say, $1. Make sure you pay them that $1 in a day job. Stop all this nonsense. He took office 1861. In 1865, he was assassinated. Why? Because they were unknown. Who were Dorie by Emmanuel. Now this time around, that was why in the same 1897, don't get it twisted, after Jim Crow law stopped slavery in America, African American, he stopped them from doing slavery. We have equal rights. You cannot do that. Then after that same time, Jim Crow law lasted for another 100 years. Jim Crow law later was abolished in 1968. When in 1961, John F. Kennedy was elected. A lot of you might have heard this. How John F. Kennedy said, don't think of what America will do for you. Think of what we will do for America. That man raised up a standard on to say how it's going to make America to be great. They also assassinated him so that nobody can ever speak for him. They assassinated him. The same way they assassinated Abraham Lincoln. Now, why is it that all our heroes now they kill? Take a look at Nelson Mandela. How does he end? In the prison. Take a look at Martin Luther King. How does he end? He was killed. Just take a let's bring it down. Take a look at Nnamdi Kanu today. What's happening? Because they never want anybody that will free. You are in this life to make sure you suffer and die. And the same continent is the one passing through this stress. The same continent. I know there are other corrupt leaders elsewhere. But at least, why are we not having right and wrong? All those things are fundamental. You are supposed to wake up and meet it. It's not something government is supposed to be proud with. Say, I've tried one road. No, it's supposed to be like a natural something. God cannot just allow it to fall down, then you are praying, hey, praise the Lord. No, it's a normal thing. Now God don't treat it to make sure you regulate the weather for us. If you look at it today, these people, they will create sickness. I think a monkey pox now they create now. They don't see create now. They are now start looking for the medicine. They are looking for a way again to now inject you. Be very, very careful again. They start announcing again now. Say a monkey don't see get one virus now. Monkey pox. Now they want to look for where they are going to bring another injection to continue from where they start. That's what they know how to do. They are the ones that created this very sickness. They will create it at the time you have no wings and everything. They will start looking for the same medicine for you to praise them. Because all these things normally were known in the world. If you get artists for body, only bitter leaf you just take scrub and those days for video. It's good. If you get injury, you don't with the swan. You just put a wall leaf, put her inside. Now the one where you press, every evening you press and it's gone. But right now, if you never go theater, because the body right now, they don't chemicalize them. This is what they do. You feel a lot of things you are seeing is normal. So that was why, let me finish up the story. Now, in 1968, they succeeded in ending the Jim Crow law. That they can't abolish black monkey right now, they cannot be among white. They cannot attend lectures together. Before, the white man did that side, they'll put you for separate class. Because the eye where they take they look you, that your upper eye where they take bring your back on. They write for your upper hair, say this one from Benin Kingdom, sold that for copper. So a white man will not value you. They were using it for farm and all manner of things. If they want to see a black man die, that's why they put chain in your father's neck. They will chain all of them, line up. Who did it to you? Are the same people you are clamoring for? You are an idiot now. Compare your life with it. Compare your life to the world. Compare your life. Come and compare. If you say you even get car, most of you know who are so maybe now 5% or 2% of people are brought here. Now they drive new car from showroom. Either go or then we go there you take get the money. You cannot gather 20 euro, 20,000. One I mean any go who will marry now, if you are living on that minimum wage, what you can buy is to use your even nominal tape by you pay for 10 years. That will give you that guarantee. Now, because the society is not made for you, because you have not been able to recognize the father, you have a father that they use on God to kill. What will make your ancestor to be happy with you is ability for you to speak. And today, my ancestors, they are happy. Now, there is parental ancestors. My parental ancestors, they are happy. But we also need a societal ancestors that everybody all glitch into. As you are seeing God of Israel, as you are seeing the covenant God made with Abraham, from Abraham to Bielemo, Esau doing own, Jacob doing one to Bielek. So that is the kind of unity we need today. That is the kind of power we are lacking today in our society. That make what would have made our society to develop, the spirit that made society to develop. Who would have killed all these bastards? They are not ready to do anything because they are waiting for you yourself to pick up the mantle. The only way you could pick up the mantle is to be going to church right now, serving a different God entirely. How can you pray without going through your ancestors? But if Jesus Christ want to pray, he prays through his ancestors. Jesus Christ recorded that he was the son of David. That's why if they call him Jesus, you know the answer. Jesus, that son of David. Who are they calling your name with? If they mention your name now, mention your father's name, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Because the name is empty. Because the name, there is no power in the name. Because the name have no relevance in the spirit realm. That's why we came abroad, it has been suffering. You know what makes you migrate? You won't migrate. If I thought you are going to be migrating, say, why are you doing? Look at it today, we are migrating. We are migrating. You're man normal. There's something wrong somewhere. Why are they no go through? Why are they not go through it? What you are going through today, for you to know why they're not going through it. Look at the kind of environment the ancestors built down for them. He gave them, the ancestors give them power to dominate. That's why today they dominate you. They are dominators. He made them happy when they are oppressing you. That's why whatever thing you are going through, do not freak them. That's why they can support any government. Look at during the law, we had it that how long we don't wait abroad to go and sign law, made them deport people. None of the governors ever want to come abroad. None of them will never come say leave my people, deport them. Because that is the kind of meeting they go. Because they never want you to amount to anything. So if I thought if they have right to call your embassy or to call the authority that gave you paper, if they can do it, if not because of the word is too exposed, they would have also done it. Make them suffer. That's why today, nothing they are doing from home. They can never sign bilateral agreement. Look at Senegal all the time, they sign bilateral agreement. That's why no Senegal you can treat anyhow. Look at Morocco, they sign bilateral agreement. Treat my people well, that if you do anyhow, go see anyhow. The level, Senegal not they stay for front of supermarket. Senegal women, I never one day see them in the road. Who will they see for road? What do you think is the cause of that? Not be your individual problem, make come. Not the society. Every one of us is getting hot on us. Everyone. No one is exempted. No one is exempted. No one is. It's like when Jesus Christ was arrested. Look at the multitude they were having. All of them, they were lowly because Jesus Christ not died. Also, we have to. Our ancestors is dead. That's why we are going through what we are going through. We doesn't have mediator. You know the meal of 24 elders in heaven. All those are your ancestors. When they say 24 elders in heaven, your ancestors have a special place. God, your ancestors have been waiting. Maybe on a very good day, my children will speak. They find out that, oh, your grandfather came, your grandfather did talk. Your father came, your father did talk. They are be crying. When will my people speak? God will say, ah, you know how we function here. God will say, go the camp of the 12 elders. Look at my children. So we say, what do you want me to do? They are not speaking. Don't you say they are the one who say, what do you want me to do? Really, God cannot do anything whatsoever. I hear you say to my ears. What will I do? Have you been saying you are not saying anything? All you could do is to join the people that kill your father. Your father today just is somewhere. He's ashamed. Oh, my son. Then we managed to pass through the river and come to Europe. Oh, can I go and show you my car? A pure water number one. We are mourning a baby where we wifey. But it's one of the best cars in Daki. Women, true to God, yes, one of the best cars in Daki. I stand to be corrected. Yes. To you that is seen is one of the best cars in Daki. Women, but carry and go Nigeria. We are mourning a baby. If you go give her to your baby, G class. Not be GLK. Effie. You know, dry. Now, what you call achievement is not just achievement. Compared to what God has for you. I to be seen Oibo. Not be the same Oibo to give you most of 50K. How did he get the money? Because he's with his ancestor is happy with him. The ancestor they support the one. You that also stay, I'm not laughing you, please don't take it personal. You that also stay in front of the supermarket. Look at how they are pitying you because you are like somebody who may ram again. Where my ancestor, that's why. Even when it is written in the Bible, look at how we have degraded ourselves. All party have a weird doctor invented. And we not live by it. As if it's a way of life. We don't see anything wrong with it. The same thing most of our ancestors. A man should not be married. The life you are living today, the suffering you are suffering, the same thing it never amount to anything because there was restriction. You are okay. That's why to most of you today, you are not going front, you are not going back. You cannot even talk, you don't know your right. Because your ancestors, it was changed. Your ancestors were changed. Automatically, it will affect you. That's why no matter what, we are old now. Come and show me your riches abroad. Nakawala hangu we do we me sure pano water 200 euro. Who seno? Because your ancestors is not with you. Look at all of them protection. Look at how the ancestors stand and put down the law. Our own Umagbanima. Uma will never walk. The video I did yesterday, Master, I want film about people are still fear today. They are still afraid of it today. People cannot comment with their real pictures because they don't know what's going to come of them. You don't know what you are putting yourself. And the same generational problem, you are extending it to your children. If no way at limit to where is about to limit your children. The powers in Ethiopia. I'm not lying now. If I'm lying, there's a very woman now. You cannot lie here. I'm not like your fake pastor. This person, you only have no worry. Now, the life will not live. What did our father told us? Or when I hear this, that to say, whatsoever a man sow, that shall reap. It does not mean that you are going to be the one reaping it. That to say, you are sowing unto generation. Be that your father couldn't amount to anything. The gruesome murder they gave to your father and your mother. That's why today you are subjected to the same suffering that happened to your father and your mother. Your father and your mother never amount to anything. He bought a land and they took it away from him. A situation whereby a girl cannot be able to decide or not marry. A point and key one. You think that one is a normal thing? As a girl, you cannot decide to say, you that hour will point and key money. I need you to follow me. That's slavery for crying out. That's the highest slavery in this world. If Donald Trump's son wants to marry my own daughter, for example, okay, boy, despite they rule the world, you cannot just go and pick him. I will be loved. I will get to go toast. That was how most of you today, your husband get to you. Why is it that if you come to something, it will be important? It is normal. That was also, they also handpicked some of your mothers and they subjected them into suffering. And today you are not ready to change anything because I'm making a queen like you. We have decided before we come to the door, something is about to happen. Oh man, if David can kill Goliath, I see Newty and the queen mothers doing wonders not in a due time. Because of how we because I'm the masterpiece of our ancestors. Be that our people that one first went to America, they couldn't look at what Abraham Lincoln did in 1961 before he was assassinated in 1865. Before he was assassinated, they didn't look at that. But I'm here to stand as a representative of my ancestors. That what happened to my ancestors, my forefather will not happen to me. They even will say here. Rubbish. Oh, that's monkey banana. Who told you it's a way of life? Who told you? I tell my way of life. No, you have demons or they say they know God. Why on Salo boy? You know God, you are not reading his word. They cannot hear the Bible. That one guy point and key. One guy point and key. That a 100 years old might be talking to a 50 years old boy or the girl. That's the slavery. That's why that was the same thing they did to your forefathers. Either you borrow or we don't want marry or the girl. Not that you are trying to reference your husband as okay, my lord. Or okay, no, my wife, don't let me down for me. Are you watching my dad? But some wicked father, they will allow their wife to be on that name. Now what be here? What do we have? They will allow their wife to be on that name. That's slavery. Why don't the man and the woman, they are not from the same ancestral DNA. There's something wrong. One is oppressing one. One is oppressing one. That's why the compatibility in marriage don't actually work. Even there are still most people to their children, they are good. Their children know why we copy their characters. I see a video, I see a picture on social media. A man, if I believe you celebrate today, then what one way. The same people that kill your forefather, they are killing you again. Then you are celebrating them. Then you want to go to you. Why one year everyone kill? Why else over heaven? Nowhere people cannot go. Later you say you the head is the Lord, the fullness thereof. What the Bible were supposed to be made for, they don't care. The replicant of what they did to your father, the same way they grab land from your fathers, that's what is happening to you today. Everything that is happening to you today in your country where you are, your state of origin, it's the same thing that happened to your father. That's why most of you, what your father could amount to, You couldn't amount to it. Because everywhere no what or my with me, when you did I slow down. I called my dad one day. What age was my father when he built the first house? He told me now old age. So we see they down the truck. Why big dog? You like to flat, no one make any. I say, God. This is going to say 20,000 euros. He will see 20 years. He will do. I don't know how he just said that I make a new lady. I don't advance. When I got me, I will hogbo. It have energy. Advance of hogbo wedding. A model of hogbo, may show my winner. A model of hogbo may show my winner. I do advance a Gave Monsieur. Gave me. Gave show a room of palona. I have a women do I have a go. Go and check how it started. Thousands of years ago. It was a house. The house of the 400 years ago. The Charity Hotel today. Then your father did that. He did say he had made it. But he went up inventing things. You corner, your mama. You have to wear a move. We have a boom. A penna. Today you are not been able to invent anything. Just come on to even read. Most of you now you are knowing that it was Abraham Lincoln that stopped slavery in 1861. You are hearing now. But you attended school. You go to school. Only Eze go to school. That's what you read. Only Eze go to school. Eze did not only attend school. Eze also go to farm and go to river. Tomorrow you say you are, I'm educated. You are an educated, sophisticated moron here now. A child that cannot confirm what his father. That's why right from time. That no, me agaye bien de principio. Simply me agoraro. Que pasa aqui? Aí algo que não é bien. Simply. Desde yo sé que mi nombre es Newton. Ahí cosa que yo siempre discutí, siempre, desde niño, hay cosas que no me caen bien, hasta ahora no me van a caer. Pero todo you, todo es bien, maravilloso, sea lo que sea es bien. Alguien que ha matado a su padre, matado a su madre, hasta ahora es su amigo. Tú eres malo hijo y mala hija. Pero es más bajo. Está loco en cabeza. Está loco en cabeza for me. There's something wrong with you. Who just shine, they shine. Akima. When I was left home in 2003, I thought it was hasta luego. Let me explain this. Hasta luego means that we'll see later. Hasta luego, we'll see later. Why Estanuka, we will not see again. I never knew that this wicked alien, the spirit that was controlling the Edo, told every one of you Estanuka instead of Estaluego. That's why you are here today. That's why none of you can relocate back home. Relocate to your kingdom. Let me see if really a kingdom. Quote me wrong. Relocate down there where you stay. If you really a kingdom, where you stay. Go to Africa and dwell. They told us Estanuka. For my own mother, was thinking Estaluego today. A time in mama expecting Maga we are not spending over time. Imaya is Zika. Nobody today that is still enjoying this. If you are enjoying this robe, then we say there's something wrong with your head. We know that there is security, but there is a natural life we are born with. There are some funny things who can see so call my go. Do you know how organic it is? Where call my go nana. The ancestors, but today everything is chemicalized. If I know my own fruit, to my kind of your fruit, they put chemical and everything to preserve it. No way yari otie no ku huerare. No way yari my go no ku huerare. Today we give me one. Everything your head is down. Pure chemicalized. They will have a mugwe. They will not make no good better than you. We are not going to mugwe. Now mugwe. Move your fruit. The means of preserving it. We are happy. Ebono. Why our boys regret it calling us monkey? Because why? There is a life they expected of us. We couldn't live it. That was why when Britain found out that they never want to stop selling. After the Jim Crow law ended, in 1968. They found out that slavery was still coming from Africa. They thank God for Abraham Lincoln in 1861, who could preserve some of our fathers. Maybe my forefather were exiled to America. Also, in my if their father were just killed. Also, in my yes, it's true. One confirm it. Pray. Yes. A lot of people, their father were killed in the cold blood. That was necessary. Most of us, our father were exiled to America for Hamlet. Maybe also in the I come today. When Jason issue came, I was having a different grant. That today I'm right. When the irregularity of American election came, I was having a different thought. Today I'm right. So everything I have been right. So why are you always failing? Because your spirit, your consciousness is not with you. And you are not ready to fight for anything good. Apart from test that wood. Will this wood be good to set fire, or it will be good for furniture? We don't bloody care. Today we are happy. If, as we speak now, one of Madrid in the Monte MSC. AC the Mami Goya we Madrid. Zuzu aya o for. Zuzu. Because Useno. They are pretending. Forget what you are seeing social media. Gwalian Ariowa. Wagagwa legbe Ariowa now. May agree ne. Or mama or my day you say. We forget a completed building when we were. Now we bought a game over here. They bought the boy TV. And they bought to me my odo. Or like that they are looking for ransom Fulani. We are not talking about that. Forget your four flat one. Let's talk about the Agmon way. Let me find out. Agmon way. Mama. Have you been able to train your children in university without law? But your father could train you in a higher institution without law. Can you test it? Can you pay one semester without your dirty job? Can you? Most of you, your children will also become military, if not where young we go to university. Let it be the situation of Nigeria. Where do you train of you? You can only attend college. You can only attend college. Say university, you can't afford it. Except do the very expo, the very Casa Campo, Casa de Campo, or the very here somewhere. Let me not mention it. Hey, you will buy. We are here fooling ourselves because there is something wrong somewhere. So the value of you today, that's why your passport is valueless. Because women value. No, what value do you really have, for example? Now, what would you make you to have value is your ability to come out and protest against austerity. That's why when a European protest is said, you will never see any black man over here. What's the door? Hey, we are here. No to green. They say yes in everything because that was what they were taught. They agree to everything that comes. After all, my name life cannot take away, will not take away. But the life is maybe the only. That's why let them put any law. Like a body no let me we wanna. He signed the sovereignty of the US to WHO World Health Organization. That anything that has to do with health, a World Health Organization, once they announce something is going globally. Today I cancel that agenda. But you don't know. I let me cancel it your name. This is rough. That agenda of body selling the United States of America sovereignty, medical sovereignty to WHO World Health Organization. I cancel it, none and avoid. I cancel it. I cancel it. It will stand. Every of their plan will never stand. It's only the plan of God that will stand in this whole world. Say. We have to change along with the changes. Hey, we are shouting, hey, Nigerian passport, it is valueless because of you. You are also the God who wants to put value. You are going to put the one to put the value. Nobody will put it for you. American today, American is great because they are democratic value. I am imagine American citizen at home. American citizen. This is where freedom of speech is. Because they are fools, they are idiots, They are babron, they are ewobi, they are charlatans, they are Australia wallaby, they are misguided elements. It's just we are going to be sending them in a state of oblivion. Because they are a bunch of fools. Look at what a man will pronounce upon his children. Look at what a man will deliberately call yourself children. You ever one always living at Dama. Ezohian Beluwa. I'm your baby now. Even you walk on Queen of the Coast. No, need you, honey. Let me give them 3 stories. One always living at Dama. Where don't everybody must be of you. Ah, what better you have a wabo one. Then what a belerima, Erima, Erima, the Wabaya. Stupid set of. You are a slave, then everybody should be a slave. You know why you are a slave? Differentiate it. You have no right to start calling anybody any name. You can claim whatever thing you want to. But where you got drag him a little. Don't be dragging people along with yourself. Why would you be doing that? Need no money. I want the will of God. At least in my own video. I'm not fighting for only myself. What I'm also fighting, I'm also helping you because every time we corner, your children will repeat. We got to evaluate it down the way. And most of them, their children are very wayward. Even are useless. Go and see our environment. They have the most wayward children in society. Their children is never do well because of the sin of their fathers. Now, the only problem we have here is that our negligence. Our not being able to speak out. Our not being able to deny the fact that this same thing they did to our fathers. You have to remove the neck, the chain from the neck of your fathers, so that it will also be out of your neck. That's why the reason why we bury our father most of the time. The same thing your father, your ancestor told your great grandfather. But only what we can do today now, we came abroad, we sell ourselves to take care of our father. Is it supposed like that? What to man today you are proud. I take care of my father and my mother. How did you take care of them? You did not even because because they didn't give you enabling environment for you to really take care of your father and your mother. What we call success today is not just success. We are putting ourselves more into bondage. So earlier the better for every one of us. So start realizing and stand there for our ancestors. Because what they did to them, someone must have to speak about it. To finish up this story, after Abraham Lincoln stopped this very slavery, the United States of America in 1861 to 1865, before he was assassinated in 1865, you know, then they found out that after 100 years again, Britain, he now caused a problem between Nigeria and Biafra. At this very point in time, America put a ban where we no longer be buying slavery. Stop this nonsense in 1855. So what the Britain could do, being that Benin people refused to stop selling their own, the Britain they came and invaded them in 1897. Calculate the years in time. Because they had a look at what these people is doing. And they are still doing it. Even when the West have decided to say this thing must stop. That was some of the reasons they did care for jealousy. Let us loot all these things and go and see. If no rain and you warm and nagbon, now you say you worship. Worry man, because if they go home, I gave them bronze. You know they like bronze, shiny. One villagers now. I have shiny name. Ebo I want mure here money. Okay, that was why most of you today you are senseless because they sold your father out. They sold out your father. They sold out your father. In the continent of Africa, I've been doing slavery. I don't know what they were doing. That was the only business they were doing. They were very good in slavery and they were rich. They were rich in all these things you are seeing. Imagine I'm maybe a company of I if you women son, hey now they will not change you. Ah, yeah, we are labor. I hang you in a black man, ya woo hair. Everywhere you got quick. I want to be quick, maybe a was on a what David. I want to be quick. I have set a trap in the crocodile. I will move. Today you are not speaking. The same thing that came, but later, that's a God of David. Father, the Lord, the God of Father. David fought for his own ancestors. That's why he could kill Goliath. David have an ancestor. Jesus Christ have an ancestor. Now, who is your ancestors? If Jesus Christ come today without a warrior, for example, let's assume Jesus Christ come now or without a warrior. We are him away. If Jesus Christ come now or when without a warrior, how are you going to live your life? For example, Jesus Christ came now and denied you. Where everybody do your own. How are you going to live your life? Then you'll be empty. So earlier the better, begin to retrace back your step. That's why today all the responsibility of our fathers still fall on us because we refuse to do the right thing. Being that one man on work, being an one man, they cannot send our asset. Your ancestor give you the responsibility of your father. He give you full responsibility of your mother. Avec des dimanches avec des soyez que they will gather money that time, give their children. Today, all mothers they rely on their children. One that child of what we marry, the responsibility a papa fi moto is the head of that child. What a mother was supposed to be doing for their children is what children right now is doing for their mother. Because there's something wrong somewhere, and you feel it's normal. I not just want me my parents. You are under spare. If your papa now, papa couldn't make down what it will eat. But the labor you are laboring your biological father today, your father did not labor for his father because your father, your grandfather stay in the farm. Your detriment. Because the ancestors every day by day, as if they passes by, you don't want to do the needful, they are hungry with you. As if they passes by, you don't want to do the needful, your ancestors they are angry with you. Your precious body, since 20 years, your mother cannot use €1 any longer to turn to 5 euros. Because I grew up to meet my mother doing straight. When my mother was allowed, why did go marry her? If not for my medicine, or I saw the year, once I work in school, he gave me what he never disturb anybody. None of my brother today will say, well, every man you got to go now. Or wait a minute, what I 50-50 no, so fair non constant. It was not great. You never want to drag out the detriment of their children. But most of your father they found. Or it was segbe, or it was segbe, it become a liability. Now they can no longer stay in the village. There's nothing bad you be your father now. Why the village now become so toxic? The village is toxic, they cannot stay there. What makes it? Your ancestor that now, why was before? I mean now because the thing we are still very, very new. The whole thing what that's your ancestors is so many angry. It's so many so angry. Our ancestors is angry with us. He's angry because we are folding our hands. When Uronigbe Yama said, it's during the time of my everybody all know my grandmom, they don't know what it was not suffering. My father always had to say you were. He had to say you were. I will read the already. That was why my father built house. And also in Uronigbe as an anti-citizen. But right now, our mother is a not that your mother cannot trade. You told your mother to stop going to market because they now know when we're not getting the engine. What we take today as a way of life is not supposed to even be there at all. It's not part of it. Then because your ancestors were raped, your ancestors were raped. Your ancestors are raping. That was how some of your mother were gruesomely murdered. But you don't see anything about it. You don't see anything about it. No one even do reflection. How do we come? A Jesus Christ will learn when Jesus Christ is talk well. Now Jesus Christ will pass come. But Jesus Christ have a father. Jesus, son of David. A David of Joseph. Joseph will not be David or not be Jesus. Because Joseph were the mother of were the husband of Mary. A written down story. But our really ancestor, what happened? Nobody have even done reflection. What happened in Benin in 1897? Nobody listened to it. The same thing also no better. Then you expect to a bonus to resist you. When you are supposed to fight for your society, you are not fighting. They fought for their own. Then you expect them to give you a free landing. Then they resist me. And right now, injustice at home, we are Guyo. Injustice abroad, we are Guyo. But where? You need to see some people right now. In the king is pay why can we go just do like this? But any of you that suppress us at home, una de gbegbe no kuye ne bo way. Now God will punish you. You suppress us at home. Where do I go ye ne ebena ba we mi dan. The same injustice they are doing to people in Benin or in Nigeria or in Africa. Then where we are going to respect. And this same you, a lot of we go to Kayate, Kapuyo. Most of our Benin level. If you want to know, yeah, in my lack of pressure. Hey boy, resistor, resistor, 2x resistor. But your leader at home, they are not resistor over what they are doing to their people. They are not resistors. They are resist. They are from. Hey boy, I think you're born right. The injustice is pain. Let also be injustice in Benin. The injustice is pain. Let us also treat it the way we treat it. Yeah, abroad. They have treated it very well. Then why is you so special? Where passport are they valueless? What passport are they valueless? Women value. There we man no we do like we bona. Nebo no we do agbo be drag. Up to now ayete yakbu wa ni bunlawa. Awa kuela wa for noticing. Thank God for Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, what did Abraham Lincoln? Son of Lincoln. You put an end to it, or we had to make a slavery, or what one? That was what the royals, the British were saying. Why are they the later found out that it's just a non-moment, no meaning. No meaning, meaningless. That's why right now they are returning it. Why were people always go there to go and watch? They were wondering, can human beings be this wicked? Using human blood for this? You mean to do this? That was why they were selling their people. That was you should be ashamed of yourself. Be ashamed of yourself. Look at it. That was why. Okay. A boy we have to say now. China when they produce artifact 1 million, they have the machine produce it. And the duplicate where are you talking? They teach their children history. Why did they remove history from Nigeria? Why did they remove history from Nigeria? Because they never wanted to know. Up till now, the core value of America, they teach them their history, what they've gone through, what their father went through. That's why a law 1776. I can't do ya leave your American. They put down today we have no law. Or me war me here. Can't die at any time. Then you are happy. But when you want to ask the people, no man back. Then what you baby I mean on this people. If I perish, I perish. They might maybe no problem. But I must have to put the truth in the air. Oh man, no man were there. He saw that many people were our baby so. I have a man in the house. What name would I even mention? Let's say Cuomo. Our Cuomo. Or Cuomo man. Our dear. Now, let's see. Why were these people selling their own person? They brought in the fan that was this thing. So you mean these crazy people were using human blood for this? should be ashamed of yourself. Don't say, we're going to go. Abraham Lincoln Donald Trump when Abraham Lincoln was in life, Donald Trump was a Wicker. There was purpose why Donald Trump was born to this world, and there is a purpose why I am giving birth to, and that purpose must be met. It's all about liberation for my people, and it must happen. When I mean why you see Jesus here, at least am I hearing me? Somebody that just am I the love you're working when I'm good. That's why Agmon love Africa right now, because they learn how to despise their Moses. They taught you not to ever believe on anybody that will speak for you. But I guess when Abraham Lincoln started this whole fight, maybe some of your fathers they didn't really agree, but it was Abraham Lincoln who was the 16th president of the United States of America. After his assassination, Andrew Johnson allowed. After his assassination in 1865, Andrew Johnson on an take over. The American were again, they suffer. They go through hell. The color lasted for more than 100 years. 1968, I don't go in a black monkeys can attend the same class together. And that's what we are enjoying today. As many of you that have such an impression, today I condemn your life. I go in my way. You are freedom, you don't want people to have it. We are soon. We are soon. We are soon. Stupid set of idiots. This what have been stopped in the Western world. Sue me to anywhere now. They are very happy. And the people they call it, they say, hey, be afrati. Hey, when you get it like that. Me have you do you want me life you come. My you will suffer. It will affect all your children here abroad. Everyone where he I don't know say this guy don't get allies so. Hey, amen. Allah's amen. And wait. The Spanish government will make money here. They know me. Oh, but they have no money at all. More by the station your name. A case in Memudia when I go agree. Even certificate or a lawyer, but I have acted as a lawyer in so many cases. Yeah, we are hearing I am with me. People understand. If I'm talking to you, you know where men are in. How can someone derive you from your right? Then you are very happy. Or everywhere I will war right. Everywhere I will want my right. Why is it like that? Everywhere I will war right. Everywhere I will want my right. We are going to attack racist. Who is racist here? Who is wicked among you all? How wicked is it? You are still the one that is wicked. Who will move first? The wickedness. Stuff you. The value. A value when you to always give a respectable way. Up to now, because my father respected himself in the old Gita, that's why nobody knows me because of the legacy my father left behind. What are you leaving behind today, moron? Fear. Imagine you were giving birth to the very day you were born. And when you went to one, a fear were gone. That was why today most of you have been dehumanized for so long. Yes, most of you were dishumanized. Because everywhere I do, why I went to meet it today. Imagine but not your way. You gave it out John way I talk about now. But I'm not John way. I was trying to tell John way that you got your mother right now is breastfeeding you with fear. Even your mother died, it brought you up with fear. And when we want today that would have even corrected your head, it was fear you were sucking. Because of a toxic society now, you feel you are with your normal senses. How many people is today with their right senses? Any man with his right senses, one way imagine a man. He's only a fool and a moron or man. Because a mad person, any given society will embrace it. That does say your head is not correct. It's only a bad person that will embrace any given society. Whatever thing that comes out, take it. Because you cannot question any narrative. You cannot why you born why to amend you, man. Every time we have to amend you, you cannot ask. All of you. Anyway, no one will never know the me war. Can I give you some word? No problem on your body. Because already, that's what most of you do. And when you went was contaminated. There was no hygiene in your life right from time. Because it was this fear. Your father could never speak truth in his life. He could never. Because area no guy near that's why most of you today you are not immune to fake life. You are not immune to injustice. That's why what I'm saying right now, see and committee sin. No commit to man when may your ancestor never be free. Because the very day your ancestor is free, you are free. Stupid set of idiots. You think it's a bed of roses. This is supposed to be a fight for everyone. Even though your father partake in this very act, you can still come and correct them. Please, we are sorry for what happened. If you want to continue, it will affect your children. Because we are suffering. We are daughter, your ancestral land. A country where the law and order, government cannot just go and destroy your house like that. If you want to destroy your house according to law, according to section so and so. But today, government can just take law into his hand and go and destroy your house. Because there is no law. We are supposed to be having a law, but who is going to do the law? Nobody do it. We have no traditional law. Though we are making you are accepted. Ancestors who were why did they collect land from you? They collected the land because it does not belong there. If your own were no more to a new water, who collected the land? Is it Fulani? Is it not the same people? This was the same thing they did to your father. This was how your father will do. There are people that will buy land. So far away, I think nobody go that land. I know what I'm saying. If I made mistakes here, okay, 2% mistakes. Now the other 98 is correct. Then you feel it's a normal life. Everything that happened to you today, you are the replicant of your ancestors. They didn't have who ancestors you were. And it was never supposed. Ancestors who were so. Or my that's what most of you today where to stay your word. Because they freak a lot of things. Ancestors they never speak the truth. They don't question any narrative. Most of us thought we were killed as a result of their stubbornness. Or when to kick back, that's why both people are stubborn. A stubbornness means imagine. That's why when we have about who maybe a joking, they speak. When we are bargaining, because it's natural. Is he here than in any animal? Mao is natural. I don't know how the power comes. If you ask me, I want to ask. But all where we are sick, all where are you can read Mora no way. All it means natural. That's all set is all set in it. They can walk and now move where I'm not the bear so. Or Balagade, where do we live? I'm not doing it, I don't my va. Because I'm not afraid to go to detention for what is right. So what are you saying? A bullet if I wear as an Ayema because Uzua. If you are used that threat as an Ayema to fight for a better fight for your ancestors. A bullet in Abba, don't just you on the count today, still alive. When I always say, he's still alive. Time to come his name. A has on name, you know. A man like Bianado Amwe Canonia or Unati. Better than Obama who came here at the bed and enslavable, yeah. Who we are not supposed to accept the just everybody start accepting it. Hope say na betati they come. Look at the problem people are facing today. Una the kind have already said. Because ancestors or men or gear. Because a divine fight, there's no way you can stop it. Look at what's happening to them today in the Kano. But people in Kano before Sokoto, people in Sokoto. Some of them ain't living on the Kano alone. You want to divide Nigeria. If you divide Nigeria now, they sell my goods. Not be the same goods that they burn. So, are they not putting fire in their market now? Okay, who is right now? A man is still alive. Everything they have said is coming to pass. Who knows Jesus Christ will come to pass? Nene Jesus will not see where you know where you know no Maya will end. Who not said not come to pass with that one. But what una the Kano have said, everything is coming to pass. He told them they are coming to there. Are they not killing you mercilessly? Are they not burning down your markets? When we were telling you relocate your this thing, let's fight this out. If every one of you have relocated to Igbo land, By now, they will not burn your shop. You will not be losing billions. And who ain't lost a day? This is just the beginning. Because your ancestors is no longer with you. If you stand to avoid good, your ancestors will be with you. Nobody can do the kind of program I'm doing right now without they know your ancestors behind you. You can't do it. You cannot do it. How am I getting my messages? Have you ever heard this kind of message before in your life? You have not heard it. Not even Adeboye have talked about it. If Adeboye have talked about it, he only talk about Numbers 14 verse 18. Generational curse. The reason why you must have to sow seed. Any seed you sowed now, your children come and bring 1 billion naira. That's how good. He will never tell you about your ancestors were chained. Look at all our pastors today who encourage them how they get their money. He did this in Illumina, now they give them money. They converted the law of spirit. They put one on it. Go to Nollywood and ask how they are living their lives. Who had passed for the old Nollywood for Nigeria? Not be Samiloko. But was he able to amount to one of them? Because he couldn't afford what other people are bringing. Go and check all these small girls how they live their life. When I was telling you about what they do in Dubai the other day now, I think record don't they come and say me. The life where people they live for Dubai get as a bill. Some of them they shoot for their amount. But our Benin address will go to Dubai before you know he don't build mansion. You are tell us of that same person. Do you know what he's doing? You don't know what he's doing. People are turning things upside down. People are provoking different kind of powers to make sure they live a fulfilled life. But our own, with the something they do our own. If the word I came to this life to come and correct the negative narrative of yesterday, at least I've tried. You add your own voice to it. Because if at 20 years in Europe, you don't feel buy house. When you want country buy, except you win lottery. That will say you are going to die as a tenant. And the same country, if you remain like this, there's never a time you can go. Now see, body where you are. Now, if you cannot go now, you can see John Fence. When are you going to go? I don't know why you people, you value come to Benin. What is good about the Benin I don't 3 weeks you want to spend? How many of you can go home today? Maybe it's only 5% out of 100 that can really go home and go and stay. Either their brother, if I be they do this one, their brother is see girl coming and say, oh, baby, and I'm not about or guy, and see one will blow up their head. But you will be another person. When they don't first keep papa, the same thing will kill your papa is beating you again. People are just being afraid today. Many people they are in America today, 40 years, yeah, my lad today. I'm not winning a lad. They are afraid because the system is bad. The system is bad. Imagine you are in abroad, you have no home to call your home. How does that sound in your head? Nothing about us don't know my value. But someone, a white man, because of you went to go and study law, to say, I'm going to read this book, you know what? I'm going to fight to make sure I stop this very slave. Abraham Lincoln, he was the good. Abraham Lincoln was at all. May the ancestors of Abraham Lincoln, may they be happy today. Recognizing you for saving our fathers. He was the good Abraham Lincoln. Yes, he's late. He was the good. Yes, he tried. What have you done now? All you could do, also. And me and you and your children, you are slaves, you are bomb bastards. You are very crazy, you don't know what you are doing. Then we should continue like that. We should continue. We should live your kind of life. But look at everywhere free. I'm not everywhere area now, but they come this area. Once I hear from my Father in heaven, Newton, right now, don't no longer come to this place for the now. Start going to so and so place. Then I will also change. If you have a since then, what my more. Oh my God, say you have a milk pie, one man, or Pana, Niagaleuna, or Zania, every man, one banana. That is it. And right now we are using stone. So I am making now who or my double way over Monopia. Except what I'm saying is lie. I get Abraham Lincoln was also having people that were agitating for him. We can never support a better governor apart from the one Ogagonema. That's why when we are supporting Obaseki, we were supporting Obaseki because of the developmental drives that man we are having. Because technologically savvy, we were not looking for when the Olodokpaya Obaseki offending me is the best governor so far. And Olodokpaya offending me, and he should best understand what I'm saying. He understand what I'm not school. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't care. Everything that comes, you embrace it. Look at every fight, every struggle I've stand for. Then obeying the same thing. You think your father is happy. Because your father told you where I go, then you are not promoting the same thing. Your father said it under duress. Your father were oppressed. The life of your father were somehow. That was why that thing happened to him. It was not the normal thing. Hello. It was not just a normal life. It was pains they used in accepting those lives those days. It was pains. They don't know how we them. It was not easy for them to accept it as a way of life. But why can't you wear married? You had the way money to my fourth grandfather, a message was sent down to him. Then he told them, no more you will see. That was why the one that gave birth to Igbinidun, he was called Uduhueme. They tried because he didn't accept it. You go and trace your great-grandfather to the fourth one. No, yes or no soon. Whether it was done well. Either they are going to tell you, you go and be asking your mothers, ask your fathers. Papa, look at how this thing was before. One has Sunuvi and I, even though they were part and parcel of it. There is a sense if your father is sensible, pray for forgiveness. And I'm going to food in my yard because if you watch it today, it's hard for everybody. What your father did, a lot of you mind. What most of your forefather did is what you are suffering for today. Imagine you will just born now. I'm not saying we're seeing what you mean. All those are some of the things. I don't all over. But like now, they don't collect and they are still going to collect more. What do you think it does? It's a part of this slavery. Because after using your father, during that slavery, you have money. The same thing is happening to you today. Most of you, as a woman, but today you could not say no to oppression. Or when we can now oppress someone, injustice if I were Mudiayi, who are clicking love and like a video we share. Injustice. Injustice. Why most of you to that way in Alari? The reincarnation. Most of you reincarnated from your 7 forefathers. From your 7 forefathers. Why were me beke so when a begu can? Most of your children today, all Leruweri. Now, who was that your father? Or Yaboga no? Then you are happy where and your father was a human sacrificer. And that's saying your father were all we were learning is a pedophilia. Huh? Your father were all we were learning is a child trafficker. Then you are happy where who were they baby well down where they baby. It was when your father lived well. You'll be happy and bold enough to say, well, yeah, my father is with me again. Who was your father going to ask? You see some people right now, that was how your father was also killing other people. But their fruit you shall know them. A generic destiny, it exists. But because Christianity came right now, they put Jesus everywhere. Nobody knows yet to segregate him up. During the time of Joshua, God gave everybody one, the same God. Osaba man choose a religion anybody. When he created Adam, they cannot go in a religion where Adam, he was he a Christian or a pagan or Hindus. What am I not going to fear with him? What making I Yaziba? What making I Yaziba now? If everybody is a Nigerian is a Christian nation, I wear ritualism Wagbel is a Christian nation. I wear ritualism. If you want to call the Edo, Edo is a Christian nation. Edo is a city of blood. Up to now, it's still bloody. But you don't see anything wrong because my son on that way. And it will start happening to every one of you. Me no soon that when we're making out realize well, yes, this thing your logo. This thing is bad. Me, I will not wait for it to happen to me first. You know sooner that my great-grandfather, my ancestor, is enough for me to learn. I know where my ancestors were sold. I know quite all right. But did you know your own? You don't know. You don't care. All these people, they have their own history. Now, I would have shown you image. They take Gadi I would have shown you an image. Image of arena. Ome Zokpa Odoni, player of locus. Ome one woman or ever na maye. That is signifies That woman we are waiting for her husband. Order for him be him. Order for him dey gbe ese na mo pa. Iyan na mayiva. Ona the worker man still waiting for his husband. He no. Okay, now artifact na abiogiwa de na ayere. They want to start remembering owiye Korean maga gbe no na. Ayewe say access. Aga gbe no na. Isage na gbe no na again. That was why we went to keep it. They tested it. You are never one day as an educated person. Please, I want to know. Look at what I know about my history. That look at what happened. Maybe our fathers, they were not that sensible. They sold most of us out, most of our fathers out. Without even tagging to anybody, go and ask questions. They tell you that, look at the DNA, mommy. All those things here have been tested again. Agabe yera change bronze in era vi you. Because we have any gbe na era vi you. Ayan change bronze ne. Ave doge na ave gbe yo. Dege ne de wa no. Son fu so ye recently. They said it 3 years ago. Yeah, dege ne de wa no. Our fian unogu. They said it. And that's the narrative you want to fly. It will not fly. It will not air. What Abraham Lincoln started in 1861, 1961, John F. Kennedy wanted to do it here, but Donald Trump completed it. They all completed it. And their children are going to pay for it. Have a gate of hair now. Have a bushes. They are paying dearly for it. So it will have a pay in it, except you just change away from this nonsense. Ebomo one way. You are paying go no way. We are winning. Oh man, I hear me. I can't just imagine it. Oh, only one way so. I will just press that. I will send you to a state of oblivion immediately. Nonsense. We build more allies. Who was suffer you need to the weapon of one suffer you. Right? If this man, Jesus Christ, he sue Israel and Rome, or which Jesus Christ will never give it time to be hard. As well, you worry, if you have we guys in Nigeria who do you rent a mopo, no young bad work by more ancestral land away. Don't you know there's something wrong? You have to go and rent mopo now, no bow away. Go away. 2 weeks, your money don't run down. Every bank, it's not the bank for Europe. Euro to euro, la send in 200k as a spend, you know. Or ya se Canada, you know. Wadoa. And mama bagbe man. My bank in Wayana view. I be any Mickey. I'm not one of you. Hey, madoma. Or my Mickey, all my done where you have your own way over. Who I have dear Mickey will be good there. Una we no me e damn. E Mickey no ga kuwe. We dey have a gbera and kuwe very idiot no mama. Wake up, they can never wake up. Low sentiment. How can you give some certain people? Hey, but they already felt sorry for what they did. Look at who lele di Europe, who me black European. The European agbelo mi ayato. They use their money and agbele ya fe. No, they cannot reproduce in this place. Thank God for Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln any of the ancestors today. I get Abraham Lincoln is watching Donald J. Trump as we speak. I watch Donald J. Trump now. Oh, my Bogbe, George W. Bush, or my Bogbe, or Hillary Clinton, if not done here, or when Nancy Pelosi, George Schumer, George Soros, all to medical advisor of the United States, Dr. Fauci. Abraham Lincoln was my Bogbe, a gate of her, or where to let me because it's already an ancestors. But what did your father do? Your father learned, he teach you a song, how to say to us, okay, well, you know, what is the offense? What crime has he committed? You are using a sacrament. Then you want to make it in this environment? No, this environment will be too toxic. Let me pray one prayer for you. In your part. The graffinos are the work when on railway pony. Who escape the Patriotism will kill you there. Our we no mama, we no love. My late father will always say, "Dig one over." No wonder. It remains available. That drive on time. My father's free. I never see. There are a lot of things I cannot say here. That man was very different. I was now wondering. Oh, we know it digu amoha. Yeah, I wonder. The man got him nanaga no. And I will say it again. It digu amoha. Monkeys. I want me banana wa san yo san. Idiot. We born we my boy. We monkeys who we fare from ba kere ayuda. Tene 4 iko. Tene 4 ika. We are you are happy. But the same help you don't be anybody. When you tear be a negative, babu no. You're not poor. Ever memory anyway. Yari one for graphene and one for spy protein. The vep number. Okay, Yawari cardiac arrest by. I look at an Opa way. When you are being your Opa. Opa when I want man because my own repent. My own will is for everybody to change. No matter not change you, who will in an Opa because we do your baby. Oh, what hey? I'm joking. They never boy when a black mighty when they bring. Come on, the canon regan. Be in solidarity and left fist of Nigeria. A jealousy, I worry. Jealousy. Wama me no one. I just pray soon. Osaloboa, who have called me into this activism. No, you a so no anybody. Who will come and stand in the gap? Will keep on narrating you. People have been assassinated. John F. Kennedy very. She tried to control from where Abraham Lincoln stops. No, he and a humiliation and bungwe. They are human beings now. They are human beings who have sacked, not sacked. After Donald Trump left White House, it was that attempt assassination in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. The very day not changing window, one of the windows cannot be able to do. Area nana why a scary. Thank God it was a bulletproof. He had to targeted. Then you don't know the real why screen life is video. Working with the politics of movement. Then you are happy. After all, everywhere you oppress, everywhere oppress someone. You are going to see what you are going to face. Idiot, no mama. Wicked set of alien. Any more talk you know where the if society is good, wherever you are, Agmowe my way. I be any no more talk you know where them are there. This was when at the time I went there. Nonsense. Yeah, when I do kati. They do kati, they do kata. How can you make it in a foreign land? Egyptian, Israel, what you Soviet it? Because they were in a land that is not their own. They were in a land that is not made for them. They were under subjection. Those ones, but right now we are not the ones selling ourselves again by not being able to recognize or do what we get to do. Today's date is 19th May, Thursday, 2022. On the 19th of May, Thursday, 2022. So for those of us that want to call us at times, our phone number is +34 631 056 284. You can reach us through phone number +34 631 056 284. Digest this very message and go home and think about it. Enough of this nonsense must stop. And do have a nice day. Nemawo, never mawo, atoma posako. Ciao, bye.